Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Pallavi Manchanda bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring to you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina jointly inaugurates first cross-border energy pipeline. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Global Millets Conference in New Delhi. Startup 20 Engagement Group meeting under India's G20 presidency begins in Gangtok. India's share in global dairy sector set to increase up to 33% in the next decade, says Union Minister Amit Shah. Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur cautions media against narratives that threaten India's integrity. Imran Khan's arrest warrants cancelled amid turbulence and chaos. Short-term inflation in Pakistan hits record for 45.64%. And in sports, pugilist Neetu Ganghas, Preeti and Manju Bamboria enter pre-quarterfinals of Women's World Boxing Championships in New Delhi. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina jointly inaugurated the over 130 kilometers long energy pipeline between Bangladesh and India through video conferencing on Saturday. It is the first ever cross-border energy pipeline between the two countries built at an estimated cost of 377 crore rupees. The Bangladesh portion of the pipeline, built at a cost of approximately 285 crore rupees, has been financed by the Indian government under its grant assistance. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the opening of the India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline to carry high-speed diesel from West Bengal's Siliguri to Bangladesh's Parbatipur marks the beginning of a new chapter in the relationship between the two countries. Mr. Modi said the pipeline has the capacity to supply 1 million metric ton per annum of high-speed diesel to 7 northern districts of Bangladesh, which will immensely benefit agriculture and the local industry by providing a cheap and dependable source of energy.
इस पाइपलाइन से उत्तरी बांग्लादेश के विभिन्न जिलों को 1 मिलियन मैट्रिक टन हाई स्पीड डीजल की आपूर्ति की जा सकेगी। पाइपलाइन के द्वारा सप्लाई से खर्च तो घटेगा ही, इस सप्लाई का कार्बन फुटप्रिंट भी कम होगा। भरोसेमंद और किफायती डीजल सप्लाई कृषि क्षेत्र के लिए विशेष रूप से लाभदायक होगी।
The Prime Minister said the pipeline will enhance cooperation and energy security between India and Bangladesh. He highlighted the growing energy cooperation between the two countries.
आज भारत बांग्लादेश को 1100 मेगावाट से अधिक बिजली सप्लाई कर रहा है। मैत्री सुपर थर्मल पावर प्लांट की पहली यूनिट भी चालू हो गई है। हमारा पेट्रोलियम ट्रेड $1 बिलियन पार कर चुका है। यह खुशी की बात है कि हमारा सहयोग हाइड्रोकार्बन की संपूर्ण वैल्यू चेन में है, चाहे वो अपस्ट्रीम हो या मिडस्ट्रीम या डाउनस्ट्रीम। इस पाइपलाइन से यह सहयोग और व्यापक होगा।
Prime Minister Modi expressed hope that the pipeline will further accelerate the growth of Bangladesh and it will be a great example of growing connectivity between the two countries.
यह पाइपलाइन बांग्लादेश के विकास को और गति देगी और दोनों देशों के बीच बढ़ती कनेक्टिविटी का भी उत्कृष्ट उदाहरण रहेगी। यह आवश्यक है कि हम अपनी कनेक्टिविटी के हर स्तंभ को सुदृढ़ करते जाएं, चाहे वह परिवहन के क्षेत्र में हो, ऊर्जा के क्षेत्र में हो, बिजली की ग्रिड की बात हो या डिजिटल क्षेत्र में। जितनी हमारी कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, उतना ही हमारे पीपल टू पीपल संबंधों को बल मिलेगा।
Speaking at the event, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said that the trans-border pipeline will play a key role in ensuring energy security in Bangladesh, while many countries are facing a crisis in energy supply due to the Russia-Ukraine war. She called the pipeline a milestone of cooperation between the two countries. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Global Millets Shri Ann Conference in New Delhi on Saturday. The Prime Minister expressed his pride at the United Nations declaring 2023 as the International Year of Millets after India's proposal and efforts. Prime Minister stressed the need for developing a stable mechanism for sharing agricultural practices of millet cultivation among friendly countries. He said with this mechanism, there is the possibility of developing a supply chain that can promote millet from field to market effectively. Mr. Modi informed that the contribution of millet to the national food basket is a mere 5 to 6% and urged scientists involved in research and all stakeholders to contribute to increasing this percentage. Highlighting the benefits of millet, Mr. Modi said that it guarantees the good health of humans and soil as it requires less water and no chemical fertilizers. Our correspondent reports that several agriculture ministers of foreign countries, scientists and other stakeholders are participating in the two-day conference to deliberate on the promotion and awareness of millets among producers, consumers and other stakeholders. India on Saturday hosted the ministerial roundtable of leading millets countries to chalk out strategies for enhancing production and consumption world over. Ministers from Guyana, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Suriname, Zambia and high-level delegates from Gambia, Maldives and Nigeria attended the meet at Delhi. In his opening remarks at the ministerial roundtable, India's Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar urged for greater cooperation among millets-producing countries. He highlighted India's role in Sri Ann promotion, being the largest producer and second-largest exporter of millets in the world. He said that in the last 5 years, India has produced millets in the range of 13.71 to 18.02 million tons. Mr. Tomar highlighted that India is poised to emerge as global hub for millets to meet world requirement. He added that India has always been a pioneer in recognizing values of ancient practices in the form of food, culture and traditions. Visiting ministers shared experiences of millet promotion in their countries and offered to cooperate for world food and nutritional security. India's High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Pranay Verma, along with the Indian community members based in Bangladesh, on Saturday virtually attended the Global Millets Conference. Special millets meals were served on the occasion to promote awareness about the nutritional benefits of millets and to highlight their resilience to climate change. Addressing the Indian community members on the occasion, High Commissioner Pranay Verma highlighted the multifaceted advantages of the millet. Quoting Prime Minister Modi's speech during the conference, High Commissioner Pranay Verma said that millets can play a significant role in ensuring food security as they are easy to grow in a cost-effective manner. He said that the climate-resilient millets are also full of nutrition and financially beneficial to small farmers. He urged people to include millets in their dietary habits. The Embassy of India in Kathmandu celebrated the International Year of Millets 2023 on Saturday. The event held at the Indian Embassy was attended by distinguished guests including members from the Indian community, Friends of India, Agricultural Secretary of Nepal Madhu Marasini and FAO representative Ken Shimizu, as well as people from the agricultural sector industry. A millets-based lunch was served to the attendees, showcasing the versatility and nutritional benefits of millets in various culinary preparations. The second meeting of the Startup 20 Engagement Group, newly formed under India's G20 presidency, began at Gangtok in Sikkim on Saturday. The two-day meeting aims at bringing together global startup systems while ensuring that every nation has the freedom to grow its unique ecosystem. Addressing the inaugural session, Sikkim Chief Minister P.S. Tamang said, Startup 20 is the perfect opportunity for bringing together and synergizing key stakeholders in a world that needs innovation, digitization, dynamic energy and technology breakthroughs. More from our correspondent.
Addressing the inaugural session of Startup 20 Sikkim Sabha, officials from External Affairs Ministry and the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade showcased the Indian startup ecosystem's phenomenal growth story and its role during the COVID-19 pandemic. The bigger goal of converging big businesses under B20, which is the oldest engagement group under G20, with smaller entrepreneurs of Startup 20, which is G20's youngest engagement group, was also highlighted. The two-day event also offers startups showcase informal meetings between entities and Startup 20X as engagement platforms. With Diliram Dulal Saikat Sarkar from Gangtok for AIR.
In Uttarakhand, G20 summit to be organized at Ramnagar from the 28th to 30th of March, in which delegates from 100 countries including America and Japan will participate. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami reviewed the preparations for the summit on Friday at his camp office. He said the G20 summit is an opportunity to make the world familiar with the rich cultural heritage, tourism and biodiversity of the state. The Chief Minister directed the concerned officers to complete all the arrangements well in time. Chief Secretary S.S. Sandhu, Senior Administrative Officers, Commissioner of Kumaon Region, District Magistrates of Udham Singh Nagar and Nainital participated in the meeting through video conferencing. Meanwhile, the officers have intensified the preparations for the summit. The encroachments are being cleared while roads are being beautified. The District Magistrate of Udham Singh Nagar, Yugal Kishore Pant, told that the delegates will reach Pant Nagar by air and then be taken to Ramnagar by route. India's Home Minister Amit Shah said by the year 2033, India's share in the global dairy sector is all set to increase up to 33%. Mr. Shah was addressing the concluding session of the 49th Dairy Industries Conference at Gandhinagar on Saturday. Mr. Shah said that the government is planning to establish 2 lakh rural dairies at the panchayat level across the country, which will help increase the annual growth rate of the Indian dairy sector from the current 6.6% to 13.80%. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel said that the state government is encouraging value addition in the dairy sector. A large number of dairy industrialists, cattle rearing farmers and cooperative leaders participated in the 3-day conference. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a news commentary on SCO Tourism Ministers meeting.
India hosted the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO Tourism Ministers meeting on the 17th and 18th of March in Varanasi, which has been designated as the first cultural capital of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India is the current chair of the SCO. The Tourism Ministers meeting was preceded by the second Tourism Expert Working Group meeting, EWG, on the 14th and 15th of March 2023. During the meeting, the experts discussed and finalized a joint action plan which was adopted by the SCO Tourism Ministers meeting on the 17th of March. The joint action plan includes actions relating to the promotion of the SCO tourism brand, the promotion of the cultural heritage of the SCO member states, in tourism, sharing and exchange of information and digital technology in tourism, and promoting mutual cooperation in medical and health tourism. As part of the tourism track activities under India's chairmanship, the Ministry of Tourism has planned various activities. At a recent post-budget webinar on developing tourism, the Prime Minister underlined the need to think out of the box and plan ahead to take tourism in India to new heights.
जैसे हमारे देश में टूरिज्म का पोटेंशियल बहुत ज्यादा है, कोस्टल टूरिज्म, बीच टूरिज्म, मैंग्रोव टूरिज्म, हिमालयन टूरिज्म, एडवेंचर टूरिज्म, वाइल्ड लाइफ टूरिज्म, इको टूरिज्म, हेरिटेज टूरिज्म, स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म, वेडिंग डेस्टिनेशन, कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के द्वारा टूरिज्म, स्पोर्ट्स के द्वारा टूरिज्म, ऐसे अनेक क्षेत्र हैं. रामायण सर्किट, बुद्ध सर्किट, कृष्णा सर्किट, नॉर्थ ईस्ट सर्किट, गांधी सर्किट, सब हमारे महान गुरु परंपरा हुई, उनके सारे तीर्थ क्षेत्र. हमें इन सभी को ध्यान में रखते हुए मिलकर के काम करना ही है. इस वर्ष के बजट में देश में कॉम्पिटिटिव स्पिरिट से, चैलेंज रूट से देश के कुछ टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन को डेवलपमेंट के लिए सिलेक्ट करने की बात कही गई है.
Varanasi was nominated as the first ever SCO tourism and cultural capital during the period 2022-23 at the 22nd meeting of the SCO Council of Heads of State in Samarkand, Uzbekistan on September the 16th, 2022. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had participated in the summit. The nomination of Varanasi as the first ever SCO tourism and cultural capital will promote tourism and cultural and humanitarian exchanges between India and the SCO member countries. It also underlines India's ancient civilizational links with the member states of SCO, especially the Central Asian republics. Under the framework of this major cultural outreach program, a number of events are being held in Varanasi since 2022. The invited guests are from SCO member states. These events are expected to attract Indologists, scholars, authors, musicians and artists, photojournalists, travel bloggers and other invited guests. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is an intergovernmental organization founded in Shanghai on the 15th of June 2001. The SCO currently comprises China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Pakistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. The 8 member countries of SCO represent around 42% of the world population and 25% of the global GDP. There is an immense tourism potential in the region which can be promoted by increasing awareness about SCO countries. The total cultural heritage of the SCO member states, observers and partners includes 207 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. To showcase the unique products of the region, the member nations have decided to designate one city from SCO member countries as the tourism and cultural capital every year on rotational basis. India has millennia-old civilizational, cultural and spiritual ties with the SCO region. From the Buddhist monks to spice traders, from adventurous explorers to Sufi saints, interaction between India and the SCO member states has led to exchange of goods, fusion of ideas, introduction of new cuisines and art forms. India's membership of SCO in 2017 is therefore a reaffirmation of India's keenness to deepen its historic ties with the region. India has maintained an active engagement with the organization since it became a full-fledged member in 2017. In 2020, for the first time, India hosted the meeting of the SCO Council of Heads of Government, the second highest decision-making body of the organization. India's chairmanship of the SCO Council of Heads of State began in September 2022 for a period of 1 year. India's SCO chairmanship will culminate with the summit to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
This is All India Radio giving you the world news. India's Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur on Saturday called upon the media to create an effective mechanism to counter fake narratives and anti-India bias. Noting that the fourth pillar of India's democracy is strong and vibrant, he said the media is working shoulder to shoulder for making the country a Vishwa Guru. He was addressing a function to mark the valedictory of the centenary celebrations of Malayalam Daily in Kochi. He cautioned against foreign publications and organizations with inherent anti-India bias, peddling distorted facts. Indian media, which understands the ground reality, will have to play a crucial role in such situations. He urged the media to remain cautious and desist from giving space to such narratives that have the potential to threaten the integrity of the country. Noting that democracy is not an artificial implant in India, the minister observed that it is an integral and indestructible part of the country. The minister said the assault on the media weakens democracy and attempts to silence it has met with failure. He urged journalists to continue their work without fear or favor. Amid the ongoing crisis in the U.S. banking system after the fall of Silicon Valley Bank, RBI Governor Shaktikant Das had assured that India's financial sector remains stable. Delivering the annual KP Hormus lecture at Kochi on Friday, Mr. Das said the crisis, however, reinforces the importance of robust regulations and supervision. Mr. Das said that it is important for banks to ensure prudent asset liability management, robust risk management and sustainable growth in liabilities and assets. He added that the ongoing crisis also clearly shows the risk of private cryptocurrencies to the financial system. Meanwhile, talking about volatility in exchange rates, Mr. Das said India's external debt is manageable and thus appreciation of the dollar does not pose any problem. Talking about India's G20 presidency, the RBI governor called for more coordinated attempts by the group of the world's 20 largest economies to help those countries with high external debt risks due to the US dollar rise. He also said that the grouping must provide climate change financing to most affected countries on a war footing. India's Union Minister Jitendra Singh on Saturday said Narendra Modi government is making all efforts to explore and harness the ocean resources and give priority to the blue economy of India. He added that these ocean resources had never been explored before in the past. The minister was talking to a high-level Goa official delegation led by Union Minister Shripad Yesu Nayak and Goa State Tourism Minister Rohan Khunte. The delegation called on him to discuss the various potential projects to promote tourism and ocean-related economy in the Goa. The Union Minister said that the objective of the blue economy has been to promote smart, sustainable and inclusive growth and opportunities within the Indian Ocean region's maritime economic activities. A meeting of the Nepal-India Power Exchange Committee is to prepare modality for power export from Nepal to other states of India through a central transmission line via the Bihar grid. The 14th meeting of the committee concluded in New Delhi on Saturday and decided to prepare the modality within a month. This will ensure an additional market for the sale of Nepal's surplus electricity during the rainy season. The meeting was co-chaired by the Executive Director of the Nepal Electricity Authority, Kulman Gising, and a member of the Central Electricity Authority of India, Ashok Kumar Rajput. The meeting was, as per the Power Exchange Agreement, has determined the price of per unit electricity at rupees 11.54 for the fiscal year 2022-23. In Pakistan, former Prime Minister Imran Khan's arrest warrants in Tosha Khana case were cancelled by Additional District and Sessions Judge Zafar Iqbal after permitting him to go back upon marking his attendance outside the Islamabad Judicial Complex. The hearing was adjourned till 30th of March due to the turbulence and chaos witnessed. Judge Zafar Iqbal stated that the hearing and appearance cannot take place in the current situation due to the ongoing hostilities between Islamabad police and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI workers outside the judicial complex. Intense clashes broke out between PTI supporters and police as Imran Khan's convoy reached the judicial complex. His vehicle was stopped merely 100 meters from the gate of the judicial complex as the police blamed party workers for blocking the route. Meanwhile, the PTI claimed the law enforcers were restricting the party chairman's movement. Earlier, the Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority (PEMRA) restricted live coverage of events outside the Islamabad Judicial Complex. The Pakistan Media Regulatory Body barred television channels from the live coverage of rallies or public gatherings and said that today a ban has been imposed on the coverage of any party, person or organization. It further said that it had observed with concern that satellite TV channels were showing live footages of a violent mob, attacks on police and law enforcing agencies. It added that the live telecast of such footage on different satellite TV channels created chaos and panic among viewers and the police. It cautioned such activism by mobs not only jeopardizes law and order situation but also makes public properties and lives vulnerable. Short-term inflation in Pakistan based on the Sensitive Price Index SPI saw a record increase to 45.64% for the combined income group on a year-on-year basis for the week ending 16th of March. This was fueled by a consistent increase in the price of essential commodities according to data released by the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics on Friday. Short-term inflation on a week-on-week basis, however, increased by 0.96% as tomatoes, potatoes, cooking oil and fruits became costlier. Of the 51 items in the SPI basket, prices of 28 items increased. The items whose prices increased the most over the same week a year ago were onions, diesel, petrol, bananas, bread and wheat flour. On a week-on-week basis, the biggest change was observed in the prices of tomatoes, potatoes, bananas, diesel and petrol. Tens of thousands of people protested on Friday across France against the government's plans to raise the retirement age. The reform will raise the retirement age in France from 62 to 64, and there have been protests for weeks against it. The growing unrest has resulted in a wave of strikes across the country. On Friday, police clashed with protesters in Paris and tear gas was used to disperse demonstrators, while some protesters pelted police with objects. The French government says the reforms are needed to prevent a major financial deficit in the future. In Pakistan, at least 7 people were killed and 1 injured after some unidentified shooters attacked a vehicle at Zob district in Balochistan. According to media reports, a tribal elder was travelling in the vehicle along with his 2 brothers and some other people. When the vehicle reached near Pakistan-Afghan border Khurram, unidentified shooters attacked with automatic weapons, leaving 7 people dead on the spot. 3 more Indian boxers entered the pre-quarterfinals of their respective weight categories at the ongoing Women's World Championships in New Delhi on Saturday, maintaining the hosts' hopes of a rich medal haul in the tournament. In the 48 kg weight category, Commonwealth Games gold medalist Neetu Gangas registered win over Doein Kang of Korea in round of 32 bout. In 54 kg category, Preeti emerged victorious by a narrow 4-3 margin over Lacra Miora Perijoc of Romania in another round of 32 bout. Manju Bamboria joined her 2 compatriots in the pre-quarter final round in the 66 kg with a unanimous 5-0 verdict against Chiara Varirao of New Zealand. Other Indian women boxers including Nikhat Zareen, Jasmine Lamboria, Sakshi Chaudhary, Nupur Sheoran and Shashi Chopra have also advanced to the next rounds in their respective weight categories in the event being held in India for the 3rd time. India's campaign at the All England Open Badminton Championship ended on Saturday after women's doubles pair of Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand bowed out of the tournament at Birmingham. The world number 17 Indian pair lost to South Korean combination of Lee So-hee and Baek Bhana 10-21, 10-21 in the semi-finals. The Indian duo had defeated Chinese opponents Li Wenmei and Liu Xuan in the quarterfinals on Friday. Indian challenge in the singles had already ended at the tournament. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Guardian writes, ex-President Donald Trump claims he will be arrested on Tuesday in criminal case. The Global and Mail reports, facing arrest warrants, Russia's Putin visits annexed Crimea. Le Monde writes, Macron's second term faces uncertain outlook amid pension reform. Now a quick look at the headlines once again. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina jointly inaugurates first cross-border energy pipeline. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Global Millets Conference in New Delhi. Startup 20 engagement group meeting under India's G20 presidency begins in Gangtok. India's share in global dairy sector set to increase up to 33% in the next decade, says Union Minister Amit Shah. Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur cautions media against narratives that threaten India's integrity. Imran Khan's arrest warrants cancelled amid turbulence and chaos. Short-term inflation in Pakistan hits record 45.64%. And in sports, pugilist Neetu Gangas, Preeti and Manju Bamboria enter pre-quarter finals of Women's World Boxing Championships in New Delhi. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan by artists from Fiji. And with that, we end this bulletin. We will be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.